Ever wondered what the perfect getaway looks like for a senior? It's not always just about sunny beaches and a nice hotel. Today, we're going to dig a little deeper. We're going to decode the real priorities behind senior travel by looking at their absolute favorite destination and 3 powerful keywords that really unlock what they're searching for.
So let me ask you this. What does perfect rest actually feel like to you? And I don't mean just, sleeping in late. I'm talking about that deep, genuine feeling of recuperation. That feeling, well, that's pretty much the #1 goal for the travelers we're talking about today.
All right, so where do American seniors go to find this perfect rest? Let's pull back the curtain on their top choice. And surprise, surprise, it's Hawaii. Yeah, islands like Maui and Oahu are consistently at the top of the list. But look, the beautiful scenery and the palm trees, that's only scratching the surface. The real reasons they choose Hawaii go way, way deeper than that.
But before we even get into all the fun, relaxation stuff, we have to talk about something really practical. The foundation. Because let's be honest, without genuine peace of mind, true rest is just impossible. This part is absolutely non-negotiable.
Now check this out. What's so telling here is how practical these reasons are. 2 things make Hawaii the winner: fantastic medical facilities and a high level of public safety. Just knowing that top-notch care is nearby and that you're in a secure environment, that's what allows a person to finally let their guard down and actually start to relax.
And this gets to a really core difference in mindset. Think about it. On one side, you've got adventure travel, right? Pushing your limits, exploring the unknown. But on the other side, you have recuperation. And that's all about seeking comfort, lowering stress, and just recharging your batteries. For this group, the goal isn't to conquer a mountain, it's to find a sense of peace.
So how can we get more specific about this recuperation mindset? Well, it turns out there are 3 special keywords that just perfectly capture this entire style of travel. Let's break them down.
Okay, our first and maybe most important keyword is hyuyang. Now, this is a Korean word because it just perfectly explains a concept that we don't really have a single word for in English. We might translate it as recuperation, but it's more than that. It's about taking a deliberate, intentional period of rest to recover from all the built-up stress of life.
So what does Huyang look like on vacation? It means you're choosing a totally different kind of schedule. You're throwing out the packed itinerary, you're ditching the high-energy sightseeing, and instead you're choosing quiet moments, maybe a gentle walk, the simple luxury of having absolutely nowhere you need to be. The schedule is intentionally left empty. That's the key.
So if the goal is to have this beautiful, empty schedule, how do you actually make that happen? Well, that brings us right to our second keyword, resort. This isn't just about a place to sleep. A resort is like its own little self-contained world, specifically designed to let that Huyang mindset flourish. You see, choosing a resort is a really smart strategic move. It just erases all the stress of planning and figuring out logistics. Your meals, some light activities, everything you could possibly need is right there. It creates this wonderful bubble of convenience and safety where your only job is to focus on resting and relaxing.
And that leads us to our final keyword, healing. Now, I know it's an English word, but its use here, borrowed into Korean, has a really specific and powerful meaning. It's about activities that are meant to soothe the entire person, your mind, your body, and your soul.
And this, right here, is the ultimate point of the entire trip. It's not just about coming back from vacation feeling less tired. Healing points to something much deeper, a desire for a profound rejuvenation. The whole idea is to get home feeling mentally sharper, physically restored, and emotionally balanced. It's like a total system reset.
Okay, so let's put it all together. We've got our destination, Hawaii, and we've got our 3 core keywords, Huyang, resort, and healing. So what does this tell us about the big picture? The big takeaway here is that these aren't just trendy travel words. They're a perfect blueprint that shows us the fundamental priorities for this generation of senior travelers. When you boil it all down, every decision is driven by 3 things: a need for security, a desire for comfort, and the ultimate goal of holistic well-being.
And that leaves us with a pretty interesting question to chew on. The priorities we've talked about today, security, comfort, well-being, they've been shaped by a whole lifetime of experiences. But what about the younger generations of today, the ones who are maybe more focused on adventure? As they get older, what will their perfect getaway look like? Will recuperation always be the main goal, or is the very definition of a senior's perfect trip going to completely change? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.